Fox 10 AZAM anchor Troy Hayden was chosen to be a media witness to this execution.
Yeah, Troy was there, and because of the new rules, there were some parts of the execution process seen and heard by witnesses for the first time. They never used to do that, but now they did. He also got a firsthand look at how these updated drugs worked, and it was one drug this time, Troy.
Yeah, it was pentobarbital. Now, I was there for Joe Wood, and it was 8 years ago, and this pentobarbital is a drug that's used often before a sedative. You get anesthesia in a surgery, so it's kind of that feel-good drug that you kind of get before you go into surgery. And it's also used by vets to put animals down, and this one worked. So it appeared to me he stopped breathing about 3 minutes after he was injected. There was very little movement. Dixon never looked over at us, at the witnesses, never once. He kept looking up at the ceiling. And as you mentioned, John, for the first time we were actually able to see the medical technicians insert the needles into his arm. They tried his left arm, it didn't quite work. They went to his right arm and they went into his groin area. So we were able to watch that happen and also watch them administer those drugs. There were large syringes back behind via closed circuit TV, and we could see them inject those drugs in, which is why I could say 3 minutes later, it appeared that he was gone.
That's completely different. So they are trying to document this, frankly, in excruciating detail, right down to a microphone where you can hear the condemned talking.
Yeah, that was tough because you have the sister of Dina, Leslie was in there, you know, and she's been dealing with this, like we just heard Nicole say, for over 40 years. And he was basically berating the doctors as they were trying to insert, you know, these IVs and things. He said, is that your best doctor voice? Thought you had a Hippocratic oath. Bet the money's better here for you. I bet you get off on this. It's funny, you're trying to kill me. You're trying to be as thorough as possible. You worship death. And then he was talking about Dina, saying, I know you're seeing this, Dina, I didn't kill you. And then the very final words he said after the drugs were injected into his body, he said, maybe I'll see you on the other side, Dina. I don't know you. I don't remember you. And so Leslie, the victim's sister, is sitting there, and I remember looking over at her at the time, and that was tough for her to hear.
I'm sure. Yeah. This is interesting because, first of all, doctors don't perform that. They're prison staff who are trained to give that IV because doctors take a Hippocratic oath. They will not kill the patient. So these are people kind of pseudo-medical people doing this.
They can be EMTs.
Exactly.
They can be nurse practitioners.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things. Anybody who can give an IV is good enough to get this done.
So is it your sense that this idea of having the microphone is a good or bad idea? I know we're getting into opinion here.
I didn't like it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, I think an inmate should be given last words, but should they be able to talk through this whole thing and berate the people working on them and taunt the people, the witnesses? I would say no. But here's the bottom line. It took a long, long time to get this done, but justice was served today.
And so comparing this to the Woods execution, this is night and day.
Yeah, look, people call the Joe Woods execution botched. It wasn't botched in my view. He ended up dead. It just it didn't go as planned, right? And I don't think anybody wants somebody laying there for 2 hours on a table. This drug, I think, was much more effective. And because now we compound it, we don't have to buy this anywhere. We have precursors that we mix together. Remember, they argued just, I think it was yesterday, the day before, that drugs are expired. And DOC said, okay, we'll make up a new batch.
Yeah.
So now we have all these drugs, and I think we're going to see a real succession of these executions going forward.
We definitely know that because Frank Atwood next month is planned.
And there are 19 other men who have no more appeals.
How do you feel after seeing that today?
It's my fourth one. I think it's going to be my last one. You know, and I think it was important for me to go to this one because I went to Joseph Wood, and I wanted to make sure the process has gotten better, and it has. Look, in this business, this is the way I answer this. I have seen some amazing things, and I've seen some awful things. We all have.
Yeah.
So I'll put this in as not a great thing, but it was justice, and I witnessed it.
Okay, Troy, thank you.
Thank you.